So, how you feel about sugar daddies?
I think that sugar daddies make the world go round.
Exactly.
I think they're a part of the cycle of life kind of thing. They just exist to keep things moving. You know, sugar daddies are necessary to keep money in the economy. For instance, a sugar daddy funds you, use the money, you go buy clothes, the store stays open. They're just needed for everyone to survive, especially in Atlanta.
I honestly have so much to say about this topic. I think it's crazy. First off, I want to make this comment because I personally have had several sugar daddies. Several. I want to make it known that just because someone's your sugar daddy does not mean you are having sexual intercourse with them. I feel like that's a common what's the
sugar
misconception that just because he's your sugar daddy, you doing something for him. I have never had sex with any of them, but I've had several, which is like kind of lit. But what was the question? What you asking me?
I didn't ask you anything.
Yes, you did. You did. You said, what's the sugar?
Oh, yeah. What's the sugar then?
I mean, honestly, I feel like the way our relationship was, they appreciated my company and me entertaining them. Like, they had so much money. I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one, number one. It wasn't like, okay, I'm trying to get this from her. Like, they just really just wanted me around. The last one I had, he was really, like, really popping, but he got so psycho, he tried to pay me to marry him. And at that point, I was like, yo, this gotta end.
So at what moment do you feel that this person may be creepish because they're paying for your conversation time? Why can't they bag a normal person?
I mean, not even that they can't bag. It's like some of them don't have the time. They don't have the time to bag somebody, or like because they're working and they don't have time for it.
They're traveling.
But like most of the people I met them at work when I worked in restaurants, and they came off really creepy. But you can spot when somebody's a potential sugar daddy. Oh, he's old and he's creepy, but he got a check. He probably gonna spend it, right?
Right.
No,
right. I haven't had several instances, not because I look down on that type of companionship. I've worked in venues in which I've watched sugar daddy relationships with young women always come and go throughout that establishment. Not like a whorehouse. It's honestly like a restaurant. So let me be more exact. I think that it's nothing wrong with it as long as you're willing to realize the possible consequences. Luckily, Alex may have not experienced, said consequences. However, they do happen often.
Remember that one time I got a phone call from somebody's wife?
Oh, yeah. He was cute, too. See, that wasn't even a normal sugar daddy. He was, like, younger. He wasn't that old.
He was, like, 37. Or maybe he was almost 40.
But he was fine.
He was so fine.
And we had no idea that he had any type of relationship with anybody.
And it was so funny because you know how you just get that sense. I was like, you must got a whole wife and kids somewhere. Like, what are you?
She said that.
I said that. And like maybe like 3 weeks later, his wife calls me and was like, hey, are you messing with my husband? I was like, and I was drunk. We was at like the Mexican restaurant. And I was like, what? And I was like, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I honestly did not know. I can't even continue this conversation. I'm too drunk right now. But go have a conversation with your husband. And while she was on the phone with me, he texted me like, don't answer the phone. I'm like,
text too late. And so sometimes in those instances where they're attractive, like he was cute and like he was, lavish
nice.
lifestyle.
I visited him at work. I've been to his house.
You just would never know. So that's like different. But the situations where you kind of know, like, okay, he's a sugar daddy, the possible consequences are their reaction when you decide to break up with them. Also, there's a lot of sugar daddies, especially in Atlanta, that are funding full lives.
I don't think they would be mad if you break up with them now.
But when they're funding your apartment, they may buy you a car. Not saying we've experienced this, but I know of like girls where they have had their lives paid for. If something goes awry where you're no longer talking to this guy anymore, he takes all that shit with him. So therefore,
yeah, the most somebody paid for me was my tuition. He couldn't take that shit back.
So at least you went to school.
Right. He bought my books. I was so grateful. I was like, thank you. He wrote that check. He wrote the check. He brought it to the school. I was like, here you go. And then he took me to dinner that night. And I never had sex with him. I feel so empowered. Like, got all that for free.